I've been sitting there a couple minutes watching y'all, just waiting for everything to get started. What's up, Shock?
What's up, bro? Good to have you here, man. I'm about to
Pleasure,
go.
man.
We about to go live on Facebook right now, and we about to play. We about to just play another track, right now. Oh,
Okay.
it ain't going live. Come on now.
Come on.
How come it ain't working like that? Settings. What happened? I'm gonna reset it. Hold on 1 second. I know they're gonna be waiting on us. More live on Facebook. Maybe I waited too long.
Oh.
Share on the page I manage. All the way film realize. Next. Okay. People are watching. She said that. It won't go live. Let me see. BAMBD
It'll work out in a second.
Film Fest. Go live. Boom. Oh, we already got people on Zoom watching live. We all good. We got visitors, y'all. We got 7 people.
Hey.
What's up?
Shock, I'm gonna add you, man. That's crazy.
It's all right, man. I'm not gonna take it personal, my man.
I took it personal. He ain't my friend on Facebook.
I do have you on here.
It says pending on mine.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible at adding people. My bad. Confirming people. I'm terrible.
I was thinking about just like, oh, there we go. We live on Facebook, y'all.
Hey.
All right, we getting there. I'm about to share this onto my personal page. Let me see. You're not on Facebook either, are you, Tyrone?
Nah, I'm not.
Me either.
Well, Jeff, if you share it on yours, onto your live stream, we get more people watching. We posting it. Okay, we about to get started in a quick second, y'all.
Okay. In divine time.
In divine time. Okay. Let's do this. We about to start this off with some music, y'all. Everybody who's on the Zoom, thank you for being here with us. We're gonna have a good time. We got some beautiful films. We got some beautiful people, all about Black folks here in the town doing beautiful work, and we're about to get it started. So y'all just take a listen to this. Take a look at the spaceship traveling through time. That's just to get us warmed up, and then we'll get into some films. All right. Can y'all see and hear this?
We can see it.
You can hear that?
Yeah. What? Listen, I got top down sounds of rebellion. Alpine banging, yeah, we still banging. So hard to say goodbye. Watch it. I got my top down sounds of rebellion. Alpine banging, yeah, we still banging. So hard to say goodbye.
It's on the move. So we took music to the future yesterday, hid it in a time capsule in our past, smuggled it in our souls, hummed it softly in tight-packed, airless holes. They took the drums from our hands, we drummed to the beat of our hearts with our
pretty music, people, smooth motion, music in the car. On the street, people, music, people, smooth motion, music in the car. On the street, people, music, people, smooth motion, music in the car. On the street, people, music, people, smooth motion, music in the car. On the street, people, music, people, smooth motion, music in the car. On the street, people, music, people, smooth motion, music in the car. On the street, people, music, people, smooth motion, music in the car. On the street, people, music, people, smooth motion, music in the car. On the street, people, music, people, music, motion.
After the apocalypse, evolved humans exited the Earth through a decaying orbit of their own waste, hot in the pursuit of a band of renegade apes into deepest, darkest, black space.
Yeah.
And so the myth begins.
I got top-down sounds of rebellion. Alpine banging, yeah, we still banging. So hard to say goodbye. Watch it. I got my top-down sounds of rebellion. Alpine banging, yeah, we still banging. So hard to say goodbye. Move!
Rhythm and blues people, blacker than blue people, jazz people, living in a twisted note, spiritual singing, eye on the chariot people. We be drum-hearted people, bending at the waist in motion against the music people. God gave us the song people, and we dance to it, transforming impossible into our reality. We dance on it, treading above the mire, music move misery mentally, as we dance it into submission physically.
Yeah. What? Listen, I got my top-down sounds of rebellion. Alpine banging, yeah, we still banging. So hard to say goodbye. Watch it. I got my top-down sounds of rebellion. Alpine banging, yeah, we still banging. So hard to say goodbye. Move!
All right, everybody, that was Word Slanger featuring Black Age Project, Hairdo. That was an oldie but a goodie right there, y'all. Some of y'all know about it. It's new for some of y'all, but some of y'all know. We got a commercial coming up right now, so just hold on 1 second. It will be here in just a second, y'all. Right here we have Spritz. What's That Smell? Starring Matthew McConaughey. That's by our brother Silence. All right, we sharing that screen? Yeah. Y'all can see that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What's that smell?
What the?
Man, where the hell you think you going?
I was going to the grocery store.
Now with your breath smelling like that, you ain't. Your breath smell like everything that's wrong with the world, man.
What? What do you mean? Smelling like what?
What you mean what I mean? Look, bruh, you been eating that hipster toast with garlic at that.
It was avocado toast.
See what I'm talking about, dude?
Yeah.
And that cat poo coffee roast isn't helping much either.
It's premium roast from the rainforest of Colombia.
Listen, your ass. Get it together. Look, I've been meaning to tell you this for weeks, but it's gone too far. I can't have you going out there with hot, funky breath.
Well, what do you suggest?
I suggest you use some spritz before I have to social distance from your face, man.
Spritz?
Yeah, dude, spritz. The 2-in-1 freshener spray created for your breath and your hands. Have your breath smelling right.
Man, that is fresh.
There ain't nothing fresher.
Thanks, Mask.
Now let's go find some toilet paper.
Spritz, the first all-natural 2-in-1 breath and hand freshener.
One spray.
Too fresh. Your breath smell like weak old wombat milk. Your breath smell like lukewarm loneliness and Funyun crumbs. Matthew McConaughey out.
All right, everybody, welcome. This is the second edition of the Black Arts Movement Business District Film Festival. Right, Brother Naru, I see you up in there. He said that was hella funny. What's up, man? What's up, Naru? Good to see you back here. Subversal says, yee! All right. Okay, Mama Claudia is here. Jalea is out. How you doing, Mama Claudia? Good to have you here. All right. We're going to do some introductions. Get ready for tonight. That's just a little precursor of some of the great films that we have going on this evening. I'm going to start with our ladies first. All right. We have Daktari, right? Born and bred in Chocolate City, DC. Daktari Cherie Hicks. All right, Cherie R. Hicks, PsyD, is an Oakland-based dancer, choreographer, clinical forensic psychologist, and Sakujeris, a spiritual liberator and illuminator. In 2015, Daktari received her doctorate degree in clinical psychology from California Institute of Integral Studies in SF, and published her doctoral dissertation, A Critical Analysis of Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, a Multi-Generational Legacy of Slavery. Daktari is the creative artistic director of Daktari Dance Medicine Collective, a melanated community of Afro-diasporic descended dancers, storytellers, and musicians who tap into the varied past of African diasporic movement, dance and music, drum percussion to evoke Sakujer, spiritual liberation and illumination. Everybody a hand for Daktari Cherie. All right, she's going to be representing the film Wade in the Water tonight. All right, next up, we have Jeff, also known as Silence Them All, Arthur. All right. Where'd I put your bio, homie? I didn't misplace the bio, sharing all these screens and everything like that. Hold on 1 second. I got you, man. I got you. No worries. All right. Jeff Arthur. Silence Them All is an educator, artist, photographer, and director. The self-taught artist began directing videos out of necessity to mirror visuals to his own music. However, it wasn't long before Jeff also became enamored with filmmaking, armed with the inherent storytelling nature of hip-hop music and a rediscovered passion of photography. His narrative videos began taking on a life of their own. He has been producing work for almost 10 years now. The approach to the work, whether it's branding, event, or film projects, is to put story, message, and art at the forefront. Jeff also works with inner city youth to develop their creative media skills. A key concern of his is to make sure that underserved young people not only have opportunities in technology and the creative arts, but that ultimately they feel empowered to design their own futures. All right, a hand for Silence Them All. You know, can't wait for us to be doing that work in South Africa, Zania, man. So I know it's going to come soon. All right. So Silence is going to be representing the Town Folk Project. All right, that's going to be coming up next, and also just did the short with the Matthew McConaughey. All right. All right. Next up, we got our brother Tyrone Mullins. All right, this is a dynamic brother with a dynamic film that's gonna be coming up tonight, y'all. Y'all gotta make sure you stay in tune for that one. Tyrone Mullins is the co-founder and executive director of Green Streets, an integrated waste management business developed and operated by public housing residents and their peers. Tyrone was raised in San Francisco's Western Addition and endured the obstacles that plagued many inner-city African-American men. He experienced trouble at home, in school, and on the streets, and ended up in prison. Using his trials and tribulations to propel him forward, Tyrone is a certified rap and Roots of Success instructor and co-facilitates Man Alive violence prevention trainings. Tyrone received the following awards in recognition for Green Streets: an Ashoka Emerging Innovator Award, a fellowship from Stanford University's Project Remain, and a Champions of Change Award from the White House. All right, everybody, Tyrone Mullins. This is my brother. I just met him just a year or two ago, and definitely he's made a deep impact. And I just got to definitely thank everybody here just for linking up with me, linking up with BAMFest, you know, and really offering your time, your energy, your creativity for the people. So I'm really hoping that everyone tuned in today will take that inspiration with them and be inspired, especially as we're going through these trying times of the pandemic and of the uprisings that's going on all over the world. And I see Dr. Nzinga on the line. Are you on the line, Dr. Nzinga? I see you there. She may not be there right now. I just got to throw a shout out to Dr. Ayodele Wordslinger Nzinga, who is the founder of BAMFest, founder of the Black Arts Movement Business District, right? One of Oakland and Berkeley's and the Bay Area's finest. And without her, we wouldn't have this this pillar to stand upon and do what we're doing right now. So big shout out to Wordslinger. And remember, she was the one who was spitting that poetry at the very first song in the beginning, right? If you all don't know, she got 2-3 poetry books, like telephone books, just like that, just waiting on the world to hear. All right. I just got a message. Unlock my camera and mic.
I think for Dr.
Yeah.
Oh, unlike her camera and mic. Hold on, let's see. Let me see. All right. She may come on. I'm trying to flex with it. Okay. So silence. We're going to move into the Townfolk Project. And, you know, I know it's pretty impromptu, and also bringing on Sister Dr. We're going to go into Wade in the Water, right? I just only thought it would be right, since you're on here showing your films, to also show Wade in the Water, you know, that big project we worked in last year. So I want you to introduce the Townfolk Project, and then Sister Dr. just introduce Wade in the Water. We'll show those, and then we'll go into a Q&A right after that.
Okay.
So Townfolk Project. So about a year and a half or so ago, I had an idea, this kind of passion project, document homeowners, folks who had who had been in Oakland for a long time, right? And it was something I kind of put on I got busy and kind of put on the back the shelf. And then the homie Scott Rockwell, man, who real dope photographer, works with folks at 510 Media. He announced that he wanted to create something called the Townfolk Project, which was taking pictures of Oakland residents in the midst of all this gentrification stuff that's going on. You know, really highlighting the Oakland natives and folks who have been here for generations. So we were kind of, you know, I wanted to do the video. He was doing photography, and so we had this. We kind of just collaborated on this project. So what the Townfolk Project is a series of just that, documenting Oakland natives who have been here for generations, in most cases, and documenting the stories all over Oakland, right? And, you know, using it almost as a timestamp, and in the midst of like really rapidly changing landscape of Oakland, and where gentrification is and, you know, already taken a lot of, you know, just making sure that we document some of the stories and some of the narratives in the neighborhood, been here, and folks with their family. So yeah, that's a little bit about the Townfolk Project. Scott's aim is to do 100 interviews. I'm doing 25 or 30. And I'm also playing with some VR stuff later on down the line. So some VR storytelling, and you know, with folks. So yeah, I think we're gonna check out 5 or so of the stories. There's a whole Instagram page for it, and they're just 1 minute. So I take a piece of the interviews. Brother Wolf Hawk. I take a piece of the interviews and then put my visual taste to it, and as you'll see and check out. So that's pretty much about it.
For sure. Give thanks, bro. Give thanks. Welcome to Ogun Lade is in the house.
Peace, Ogun Lade.
Sister Dr. Can you give us a brief introduction of Wade in the Water?
Sure. I would like to read a little bit about it and then give my own 2 cents. So Wade in the Water was a beautiful divine project that I had the opportunity to, participate in. It was involving my dance company, but we ended up actually doing a lot of acting, like a lot of acting and a lot of maybe, I don't want to say reminiscing, but what if we were in slavery times? What would that be like? Like running into freedom. What's that whole experience about? A lot of us think about it and we talk about it, but we don't really, we don't really know what it's about. So I want to read what the objective of the Wade in the Water video was. So the primary objective is to reveal how the seeds of freedom and wisdom given to us by our ancestors must be honored because of the sacrifice that they went through, for us to be here still. It's ours to plant, to water, to nurture, so we can nourish our people in modern times. So the Wade in the Water, it's kind of like two different timelines running parallel. It's enslavement, and then it's freedom, modern day America in Oakland. But you'll see how a lot of the same struggles are, they're intertwined, they're interdependent. Everyone thinks slavery was so long ago, it's not relevant, stop telling the same story, stop talking about it. But it's still here, it's still current, which is evident in what's happening. Black people are still getting, lynched. Black people are still getting killed. Black people are still getting gunned down by white supremacists. Nothing has changed, nothing at all. So this project, I'm a dancer, so, we choreograph, but so some of it was choreographed, but a lot of it was just, let's really ground and be here together, so you'll see 4 different queens. We have Brianna Franklin. Shout out to my boo boo Bree. Shout out to yes, that's my boo. Happy birthday, boo. Shout out to Audia. She's actually in Louisiana. She's from Louisiana, but she lives here as well. Shout out to my blood sister, Brandy, who flew in to do the project. When you see the video, she's the one getting her hair braided. But there's just I feel like you need to see it. Just see it. I don't want to sort of say too much. Just see it, digest it, ingest it, see what you get from it, and we can do the Q&A after.
All right.
Thank you for having me and representing this project. It was amazing.
Give thanks. So let's dive right into the Townfolk Project, and these are 1-minute pieces. So we're going to show about 5 or 6 of those pieces back to back, and then we'll roll into Wade in the Water. So let me share this with y'all. Let's see, Townfolk, share. All right, can y'all see that and hear that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Well, I grew up in East Oakland, and then I moved over by the lake for a significant period of time, so I kind of associate with both of those neighborhoods. But yeah, from East Oakland all the way to the lake area. Well, Lakeshore Ave, where, we used to go down to Lakeshore, they had Quickway. Quickway was like the spot, we would hang out at Quickway. But also, that was a major bus stop hub. The 57 stopped there, the N stopped there. So a lot of people would be getting on and off the bus. And, we can dip to the east, or we can dip to the city. We can dip to Berkeley. Like when I was living in East Oakland on 66, we was pretty much, that's where we was all the time. We wasn't really dipping all the way to Berkeley or, anywhere else. But over here, since we in the middle, we can be like, hey, let's go downtown real quick, or hey, let's go to Berkeley real quick, or let's dip to the east. So it kind of helped you to be able to navigate through the whole town because we was in the middle.
I mean, even as we stand at this apartment building now, I mean, this was considered low income. Now it's prime real estate, so it was a lot of black families. Like I said, a lot of black moms. I mean, most of my neighbors were black women, and they knew my brothers and I, and my mom. They even watched out for us when my mother wasn't around, and it was a good place to live and grow up. Truthfully, I want people to know that Oakland's always been dope. You moving over here and going to a food truck or a pop-up or an art crawl, that doesn't, you're not making our city cooler than what it was. You're just adding to it. It's been cool.
We want to advance, we want to move forward, but we don't want to lose our cultural identity of the things that have made this city always what it was. And that's the people standing up for each other. That's the people pushing innovative ideas and continuing to support each other and connect with each other.
Town business. Choice. What do we say? Champ.
When I go places and people ask me where I'm from, I tell them I'm from East Oakland. I gotta be very specific, and they be like, oh. Like, yeah, it's more than just crime and what people, associate Oakland with. It's a whole lifestyle. It's taking something out of nothing and creating something. I know my grandpa told me that they came out here to find jobs from Louisiana. They was in Monroe, Louisiana, and they migrated here with my grandma and my aunties. My hopes for the community, for the original Oakland natives, is that we stand up and reclaim our land. I understand people moved out of Oakland, for different reasons, but just finding a way back.
This is considered to be West Oakland. Off the Google map, it say Ghost Town. All of our neighbors was close-knit, and we all, all the neighbors had kids and family, and we all knew each other. Oakland was a friendly place, a connected place, a place, you could feel like it was home. Now it's, a lot of folks moved out, a lot of family members passed away, a lot of folks sold their homes. No matter what you see, how this block has changed, to go out and just let my neighbors know, hey, I live here, and me and my peoples, we gonna stay here, and I ain't going nowhere.
'44th and Linden, 45th and Market. That's home, North Oakland. This was my safe haven, because everything up north of here is just like, it's hell. There's 50 dudes on the corner selling dope, robbing, shooting, dice games, all kind of stuff. And sometimes it would trickle down here, but really the people of the community kind of protected this basketball court just because this is the only place for the kids to go. To me, the only era in the dope era was the dope, because everything else behind that was great. It was community, it was family, it was black wealth, it was black-owned stores. Those things began to fade away as we bought into the poisons. Learn how to grind, use your mind, learn how to expand, be a leader. These are the qualities that we must teach our children. And as we do that, we watch them flourish in ways that we never could have imagined. And no matter what, I'm gonna be Oakland till it's over, no matter where I'm at.
That's the mayor right there.
associate myself being from Brookfield. You know, just growing up here was it was real dope to be able to like wake up and be trusted with walking outside and not being supervised because the neighborhood was really the supervision. You know, like every house was some form of family friend or classmate or, you know, like work colleague from our parents. You know, even though we didn't have as much supervision because we were able to like kind of run the streets, we essentially did have supervision because the neighborhood was, you know, supervising us wherever we were. You know, as kids, you know, it was like a whole world. My grandparents have been here for over 50 years. They had an opportunity to get another house built from the ground up, and they chose to just renovate the house that they have here. The other people that are on this block, the next 5 houses, also have chosen not to leave. I think that's really important.
Home is the East, but the first half of my life I grew up right here, Central, downtown, Lake. I used to walk this neighborhood, walk to the store, me and my sisters, walk to Lake Mary Bakery. What I don't like about what I currently see happening in Oakland is this push of gentrification that is sort of sucking the life, the culture, the arts, the history out of neighborhoods. On the other side of that coin is we had the opportunity. And I think that's the bigger lesson. It's not what the people came in from the outside and did. And, you know, if we don't look at that as an opportunity to say, damn, the hood is valuable. Damn, we are valuable. You know, that's the only way that gentrification happens is when we stop seeing the value in our own neighborhoods.
Ooh, he preaching right there.
That man all dressed in red must be the people that Moses led. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children. In the water, God's gonna trouble the water.
All right, we are back, y'all. Let's give him a hand, y'all. Yeah. All right, yeah, we got Dr. Nzinga in the house. Dr. Nzinga. Dr. Nzinga, can you give us a word? We introduced you earlier. Just give us a word, please.
Dr. Oh. Don't tell me what art can't do.
Thank you.
Had my heart broke, my soul lifted, my imagination set on fire. It was such a privilege to watch your artistry, the story you told. And Brother Shaka, I don't want to leave you out. That camera made love to that story. There was so much power in that. And I don't want to leave out town stories, them little snapshots. That's everything. I mean, it's the town, a little tiny time capsule. I feel like a proud mama tonight. All this art in Oakland, in look at us. Look at us. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Hey, try keep doing this. They better not miss an installment of BAM Film Fest.
That's right.
Hey, let you guys go and do the rest of what you do. I'm here, I'm watching, and I am incredibly impressed with the power of Black stories and Black creatives. And all I can say is if we could do all this, I'm not afraid. We got this.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's now. It's right now. Keep on knocking on the door, y'all.
Yeah.
We're gonna get in or break it down. Then we can use wood to build a new door.
That's right. That's right. One of them Dogon doors.
That's right.
Yeah. Yo, give thanks. Give thanks.
Well, thanks, Dr. Nzinga.
Give thanks for them words. So Silence, I'm gonna start with you, man, because I want to let people know you're the shooter, director, behind the town folk. You know, along with producing it with Scott. That am I right about that?
Yeah.
All right. So, but also this brother shot Wade in the water, which y'all just saw too. So I was working with Sister Doctari on the piece. We're doing location scouts. It was just like, yo, this is going to be a big video. We need somebody to shoot this, right? Because a lot of pieces I like to shoot myself, or if someone else is directing, I'll shoot. But I was just like, we got a lot going on. We got a big crew. We got a big cast. We got multiple locations. We got to get somebody dope to shoot this. Mm-hmm. And then I start seeing, I think these town folk projects come up. I was just like, oh, this is dope right here, you know? And then I hit up Jeff. I was like, is this your stuff right here? He's like, man, this me. We've been working on it. I was like, man, you gotta shoot this thing. I might even send the videos to Doctari and everything. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I really saw was just your eye, the way in which you told story with the visual. And I felt like I could have known what you were talking about, what the town folk project was about, even without hearing what the people were saying, right? Just about the dynamics of the visuals, how it was moving, the slow motion, the drone shots and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So what I want to talk about is like, what was your mind state going into this project? How did you approach shooting it? And why did you do some of the things that you did?
Well, first of all, appreciate it, man. Appreciate Shaka. That's my brother right there. I just express my gratitude for having me on the panel in the first place, and including me and collaborating with me, man. Like, I think going into it, what blew me away is, and I was texting Shaka as the video was playing, because I hadn't seen Wade in the water in a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's probably been some months, and I was like, man, this is some real Afrofuturism, like cold stuff right here. Like I feel like I'm watching somebody else's film. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I think what you created, so Shaka directed it, but we're not gonna let him get away with being humble. He directed it, but also just came up with the whole concept of it.
Everything.
And when you shared that with me, bro, I was like, man, I got to be a part of this, because I started. What happens with me is when I really connect with a piece of work, and brother Adimu, the same thing. Like if I'm busy, or if I got some other things going on or whatever, it's like I can't deny it. Like images will just start popping up in my head. And I think that's what I saw when you shared, like the treatment to me was so cold that I was like, yeah, man, I could already picture what we doing, the details and the, some of the shots, the wides, the drone, and, just some of that was already playing in my head. So, and then just, the message that needs to be told, and, in general, I feel it was a message that needed to get out there. So, yeah, that was it, going in the Weight and Water, man. It was a beautiful piece. It was something different than I've usually done. I've shot, R&B videos and hip hop videos, and I always try to have a narrative tone to the videos anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that this was a kind of a story, yeah, I was just drawn to it, man.
Give thanks, my man. And then what about the Town Folk Project? What was your approach to that thing, right? How was you going to tell the story of the town, right? Because, folks are sensitive, rightfully so, about the town. And someone's going out, because lots of folks is making stories about the town, right? Mm-hmm. So what was your approach to going ahead and doing those films, shooting it and gathering the people? How did all that work?
Yeah, well, for me, it was I wanted it to be a collection of these short pieces of culture, you know what I'm saying? Where even if the neighborhood changes, even if the landscape changes, or the, neighborhoods shift, from what they're looking like, there would be these almost like pieces of history that were out there. Like you can go to a place like, this is what Sabrina used to look like. This is what, Brookfield used to look like. This is what the North used to, you know what I'm saying? Or some of the specific stories of the neighborhoods and whatnot. And so that's what it is, just trying to capture some history. So again, like I said, when folks know what they move into, they'll know and have an appreciation. Hopefully they'll have an appreciation of what they're standing in, and the folks that came before them. And, yeah, because I think that's one of the biggest problems of gentrification. I don't think people are mad that folks are moving here necessarily. I think what happens is the breakdown in respect for the culture and the folks who have built the culture of being here, right? So you're calling the police on a neighbor that's doing barbecuing, or some ridiculous stuff that we've all heard of, like the church down the street, they playing their music too loud. Like that's where the breakdown happens, you know what I'm saying? Because neighborhoods and populations has been shifting all throughout Oakland. Brookfield used to be East Oakland used to be, all parts of it used to be all white at one point. So there's always been these shifts that happen when you don't respect what you're moving to, and then culture is there. I think that's your breakdown. So yeah, this is just my trying to contribute to documenting some folks and generations. And shooting wise, I wanted to be like a visceral experience of like, now you about to see what this person's hands look like as they're in their neighborhood, or you about to see one of the visuals I decided to go with is always ending it kind of a push-in shot from the back, so that it's kind of like a visual metaphor of folks. These are the folks that have always been here and always standing out and looking for, out at the neighborhood and their perspective. So, yeah.
No, give thanks. That's going in our museum, right?
Absolutely.
If we got a museum that's going to permanently keep our history and our legacy of real town business, those got to go up in there. You got my vote, man.
Appreciate
So
it,
so
man.
give thanks to you and Scott and everyone else who took a part in those pieces.
Yeah,
You know.
I gotta shout out Scott too, man. He's come up with some amazing imagery. You know what I'm saying? So from the questions he's asked to the imagery, we actually have portraits. Shout out to the town experience too, man. They have their headquarters on 13th and Broadway, and we were able to put some of the portraits from the Town Folk Project like right up, huge pictures, right up on they're on
Oh, I
13th
saw
and
those
Broadway.
down right off of Broadway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
thanks. Billboard status.
Right. So there's another thing we're working on where you can put your phone up to some of the pictures and the video will pop up. So that's what, you know what I'm saying? We're just trying to push the line of like marrying this technology with the stories that need to be told.
Hey, we got to get you over to the city with Tyrone and do a whole nother series over there, because
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that. That's what's up, man.
that's your connect right there.
That's what's happening.
For real.
That's
You
what's
know.
up.
So let's I want to move forward to Sister Doctori. Let's talk about Wade in the water. Let's talk about the spiritual aspects of preparation and being in the piece and coming out of it and seeing it now. Let's talk about your experience with that.
The Wade in the water was a whole baby, I feel like. I do want to give a shout out to Shaka for sure, because he did come up with the treatment. He created this elaborate idea, this elaborate story, and you know, he gave us also creative freedom to flush it out. So you know, initially as a dancer, you just think, oh, we're gonna choreograph some stuff, we're gonna come up with something, and we're just gonna learn it here at Malonga Center, and then we're gonna spit it out downtown in Oakland, or we're gonna spit it out in the woods. It didn't work like that. You know, spirit called for something else, you know, and everything was working in the time that it needed to work in. What was important for me about Wade in the Water was the symbology of the different things within it, you know, like, I don't know, what I taken from it was, as in slavery, as in now, there's all this hopelessness, right? There's this despair, we're all bleak, but still they're trying to get out, right? Like, even when odds are all against you, you're still fighting and still preparing for a future, even if there's slim to no chance that you're going to survive. So I feel like it's very similar to how we're living now with COVID, and also just as Black people in America. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what's going to happen to you. They've taken us out left and right, you know? So I think a lot of us in doing that project, a lot of us were having the dances, we were having visceral reactions of anxiety, of grief, you know. What was it like when people actually did get separated these ways? How is all the things that happened in slavery showing up in our families now? You know what I mean? It was heavy. It was heavy. Like, you go in a project thinking you're going to dance and it's going to be fun. And oh yeah, it wasn't like that. And to be honest, a lot of the choreography that we came up with, we didn't even do, because spirit took over and it called for different movements. It called for us to tell the story, not be cute in a costume. You know what I mean? It's like different styles and facets of dance. But this was more like, yeah, this story has been told before. Yeah, but now it's told by Shaka Jamal, and now it's told by Dr. Dance Medicine Collective. And I like the parallel of being, you know, in the 1800s, and then all of a sudden we run out and we're in Oakland downtown and shit. You know, dealing with the same stuff, running for freedom, looking for direction, looking for guidance. Who do we trust? Who's pointing us in the right direction? If you notice in the film, you saw Terrence, who was in the red. He had on all red. And in terms of like spirituality, you know, from a Orisha perspective, he was like our Elegua, he was our Eshu, he was our door opener, you know. So to me, it makes me think of when everybody say, well, how did they do it? How did Harriet Tubman and those people do things like that? Because they had spirit guides, because they had ancestors, because they had nature telling them where to go, how to move. And that's how it works. You know, nobody's just doing everything on their own and just successful. Like, no, there's a lot of entities that come into play to make you to be able to, you know, find your freedom. So the video to me was about was about like finding wisdom that's old, that a lot of us young folks, we want to do away with old wisdom. And we don't really, a lot of us don't respect, you know, elders and ancestry and lineage and legacy and where we've come from. So this was an opportunity for all of us to like, you know, be up close and personal with that. You know, I talked to my psychologist yesterday. She told me both of her grandfathers had gotten lynched. You know what I mean? So it's like, just because these things have happened 50, 60 years ago, it doesn't mean anything. When I was writing my doctoral dissertation, which is a critical analysis of post-traumatic slave syndrome, I shut the internet down for 1 year. And I just read books, went to the library right here on 14th, and that was it. I wasn't allowed to be on social media, no TV, no nothing, just focus. And I came across a documentary at the end of it when the credits are scrolling up. It was on convict leasing. And one of the guys' name was Edward Hicks, okay? That's my grandfather's name. So I just snap a picture of it and just send it to him, you know. Granddad, look, there's an Edward Hicks Sr. on here. Like, this may be your father, you know. He like, damn, you bringing up a lot of stuff for me. Like, so I'm just saying, like, maybe it was his distant elder, maybe it wasn't his ancestor, you know. But the point is like, this shit is still raw. I don't care how long ago it happened. It's very raw, and it's a very everyday thing. So I don't know. That's what I have to say about your question.
Give thanks, because you know that spiritual side, like you said, things are very present. I remember we must have dealt with 2-3 location scouts.
Oh
I
yeah.
think we had brought some snacks along, thinking we was going to eat, because we had to be walking into the bush and all other type of places. And that food we brought ended up being an offering to the forest.
Oh yeah. We offer to the streams, you know, we offer to the water, the fresh water, beautiful places. You wouldn't even think, oh, it's a little mini waterfall here. Birds were revealing themselves that you don't see too often. You said you saw a red-tailed hawk. We were continuously looking for like a shot of a solo isolated tree. And as much as you see it in movies, it is hard to find, you know? So it's like the hawk appears when the tree's there. It's just, there was a lot of, like I said, guidance from forces outside of us, you know?
Yeah.
It was dope. It was dope. It was amazing.
First location scout, I think a red-tailed hawk perched about 15, 20 yards from us. And then right after the last shoot, a red hawk came down and swooped and grabbed something out the ground, and that was it.
Yep.
Right? If y'all remember, like last year, it rained for like weeks and months, and we just kept pushing back. And then for 2 or 3 days, there was no rain. We shot this piece. And as soon as we finished shooting, as soon as that red hawk came down, we hopped in our cars, we rolling out, the rain started coming down.
That was crazy.
Literally. Everything held for us. Let me tell you, my sister flew in for this project. Like, it was so, we kept trying to do it, maybe 2018, then a little bit more, it wasn't lining up, and then everything was like, here you go, like, we got you. When I say we got in the car and put that joint in drive, and then a raindrop went, and we just was like, look, y'all, hey, look, because it was cold, you know what I mean? It was freezing out there, shit. But it helped out,
hey.
It was working with us.
Blessings to y'all, because y'all was out there, those shoes on in that cold water in that stream. They was running around in these Oakland alleyways with no shoes on, running over glass. These dedication.
It was a lot, and no injuries. Nobody got hurt. You feel me? Like, it worked out. We were safe. We were protected. But again, like, as a dancer, it takes you out of this certain realm of when you dance, like, you're happy and you're smiling, you're pretty and you're bubbly. But that's not, you know, sort of teaching you how to transform and work with other aspects of yourself. So it was like, you know, meeting other parts of yourself that you need to acknowledge, because that happened to you, and that happened to your mama, and that happened to her mama. Shout out to my mama, she watching.
What's up, Mom?
Hi, Mom.
I think my mom and pops might be watching too. What's up, y'all?
What's up?
So,
I shout out Deli God too, because that's my brother.
Deli God. I'm about to shout out everybody. We had a couple questions. What camera did we shoot Wade in the Water with? It's so clean. And Jeff answered the Panasonic GH5. We shot in 4K, slow motion throughout a lot of it. And we have some other questions about budget, how many shooting days, how big was the crew. I think we had like 3 shooting days, but it it probably took maybe 2 shooting days.
It was full days, like 5 a.m. to 9 at night, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty full days. It was full days.
Yep. And the
We had
crew.
eat and stuff, but it was 2 very full days.
And I want to shout out everybody on the crew. I want to shout out Jeff Wyman, the executive producer, Jalea, assistant director, Alina, art director, Spiritual Lily, assistant director, Kingston Hughes, production assistant, Terrence Kelly, he was the lead Allegua brother dressed in red, and that brother can sing, y'all. He got a presence to him. Branche Taysan, he was one of our actors. Deli Guy was an actor. Darian Jones was an actor. Nina Sinai Simpo was an actor. Masimba Bari and Tadiwa Bari. Hey, them brothers from Zimbabwe and England happened to be in town. They came to be in a piece of them. Those are my little cousins. TBH Dream One was an actor, Dream Hudson. We got to start Arts Africans in Emeryville provided a lot of our masks and everything like that, right? Brianna Franklin was a dancer. Ordia Hollins was a dancer. We got that New Orleans style up in there. Brandy Hicks, and Candace McCagney Lee was another production assistant. We might have had some other folks in the set, but y'all know it was a lot of people.
It was a lot
that put this together. The budget was in the thousands, y'all. Definitely. We had to feed everybody a couple times out the day. We had to get the equipment. We had to edit. We had to get the styling down, the days of choreography that led into that. So it was a lot, y'all. But it was definitely a blessing to be able to pull that off. All right.
Beautiful.
So do we have any other questions? Oh, where did we shoot it? Secret location now, Rube. We can't reveal it. We can't reveal. We might have flown to Brazil to shoot that one, man. I don't know.
It was on a continent, y'all ain't even know.
Yeah, we could have been in Zimbabwe shooting that, man. We can't really know, man. Our location scout says we can't always reveal those type of things.
But what last thing I want to say was I'm from DC. I live in a town, but Brianna is from the town. Audie is from Baton Rouge. Me and my blood sister Brandy are from DC. So it's and then the babies were from Zimbabwe. So there again, the story being told globally.
And Alina's from New Orleans too.
Alina's from the South too, and Spiritual Lily, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was beautiful, a beautiful effort by everybody.
Give thanks, y'all.
In silence, you are the one. You are the one.
Oh, appreciate it.
You are the one.
Real.
Everybody says it's a movie. It's a little. It looks like a movie. There's the footage and the shots are incredible.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Sorry, y'all. I gotta take off. You know what I'm saying? But again, I appreciate it. Shout out to the bro Tyrone. I actually want to see the project, man, and connect with you offline. So, Shock, if you can connect us up.
Sure. We gonna connect. I got you.
Yeah.
But give thanks for coming on, bro, and everything. Shout out to the fam.
Definitely. Sister Doctore, I see you.
Be silent. Good to see you, brother.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Always.
All right, y'all.
Peace. So perfect timing. We're going to be transitioning into Green Streets. All right. So we got Brother Tyrone Mullis, one of the hardest working brothers, one of the most insightful brothers I've had a chance to meet here in the town. All right. So why don't you just give us a quick introduction, because I want to dive into the film, because the film's about 40 minutes long, and I want to give us time for the Q&A afterwards. So if you can give us just a quick introduction, then I'll start the film, we'll play it, and we'll come back at around 8:45 and do our Q&A.
That's all good. Well, thank you for having me, Brother Shaka. Appreciate the opportunity. This film was it was over 3 years of a process. It's 5.5, almost 6 years of filming. Started in 2011 and probably wrapped up around 2017, 16, 17-ish with our last bit of filming. And it takes you into the journey of us trying to create a sustainable business model. The origins of it was being able to create something that was resident ran, because San Francisco has what's called a zero waste initiative. And initially they had it set up that by the year 2020, everything would be going in its proper receptacle. They didn't have any recycling or composting happening in low income or multifamily complexes within the city. I was fresh home from San Francisco. I got released in um, 2009. I had no previous work experience and was looking for a job opportunity. I had worked installing solar panels just right before that got started where I lived at, through a job readiness program, and that was my first ever legal employment. And I got familiar with the property management, and we were able to understand that they had some issues around being fined and taking care of their trash and their waste diversion efforts at the properties. They said if you can come up with an operational strategy and get residents to work together, in an area of the city where people then directly get along because of turf issues, they would support us in starting a small business. I believe that I'm a two-strike offender. If I wasn't going to get myself together, I was looking at staring at life imprisonment. So this was an opportunity for me to not only uplift myself, but put a play together to uplift other people, and that's what it was about. Really grassroots, really raw, and really just real, man. So I hope y'all enjoy it, and thank you for having me, Shot.
No, definitely, definitely. Give thanks. So let's go right up into Green Streets, y'all. This brother sent me this film. I saw it. I watched it. I said we gotta play this. So y'all tune in. This is a real story coming right out of San Francisco, and it's right next to home. These are our brothers and sisters on here, telling their real story and their real perspective. All right, let's jump into this. All right. Can y'all see that? Y'all can see that? Cool. All right.
This is a story about what gets wasted and what gets saved. It's about people working hard just to get by in a city of great wealth. It's about invisible neighborhoods and the people who live in them. Green Streets is our story. It's a story of hope and opportunity. But to really understand this story, you have to go back a ways. My name is Tyrone Mullins, and I'm a San Francisco native. My family's been here for generations.
So the way my mom broke it down to me, because we've had this discussion, my mom was born in 1965. So 1982, she was 17, and she was junior, senior, high school, cheerleader, track team, school newspaper, debutante, Black Student Union. She was the first person in my family to go to college. She went to Sonoma State University. So she came back like on a break, and before she left in high school, people was doing crack. Like it was a recreation drug, it was popular, it was nobody had seen the ultimate effects of it. So by the time she had came back on her one of her breaks, a lot of her friends were kind of like full blown on it now, and that was what was going on, and she got addicted to crack cocaine. So she had me, and she told me the story, and she was always odd. She was like, I was using so much with you, but you came out, like your eyes was bright, like I knew, you was gonna be really, really smart, you was gonna, all these good things.
I grew up in public housing here on Grove Street in the Hayes Valley neighborhood of San Francisco. When you're growing up in public housing, it's not always easy to get ahead. Mostly you learn about falling behind in your rent, behind in your bills, and behind in your schooling. It's hard to win when all the time you're learning how to lose.
So this is a scroll, and it says, my ghetto heaven. And that just means like the heaven from my neighborhood, feel me? And these different people on here represent that. Devin got killed when he was 15 after a fight, shot one time in the chest, and it was like broad daylight, just gunned down, and it was like, this can happen to you, you know what I mean? You learn that like early. Ray Diddy is Raymond Bass. Ray was just really another stand-up guy to this neighborhood. He was from Page Street, but guys from everywhere, you know, was cool with Ray because of how he carried himself. And he could play football really well. He was somebody that we saw that was gonna make it, you know what I mean, and do something with himself. And unfortunately, he was gunned down on prom night, going to pick up his tux. In 2008, I went to prison for the first time. Assault with a deadly weapon and robbery. I won't mention the stuff I've done that I didn't get arrested for. San Quentin was just an extension of the streets. Same issues: power, money, violence. And when I got out, I went straight back to my neighborhood, hanging out with the same people, living the same life that got me sent up in the first place.
I know a lot of anger inside of people comes from not having. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And a lot of crime out here is because the people don't have, so they're so anxious to get. They doing grimy things, snatching people purses or, you know, holding people up, robbery. It's a lot of that going on because people don't have, you know what I mean? If they put more community jobs out there, I know for a fact crime will go down.
11825, code 6, 105 North Avenue.
Even the police said out of his own mouth, when they did the jobs, the crime rate went down. You know, if people are employed and making honest money, it's more 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna go commit a crime if they gonna have a paycheck, because that's how I think. I always think that if I was to try to go rob somebody or try to do something just to get extra money, that wouldn't work out for me because I have a job already, so God wouldn't let that work out for me.
It's hard finding a job when you got a prison record. But not long after I got out of San Quentin, I caught a break. The housing project where I was living was putting in solar panels, and they hired residents, guys like me, to do the work. I was 24, and this was my first legal job ever.
Solar panels, I thank God for that because they gave a lot of people an opportunity to work. And that was another kickstand for people to, that was a cool little job. Maybe I should look for another job, you know what I mean?
When it ended, my friends and I were thinking, I like this. I like a real paycheck. That's when this idea for a recycling and composting business came together. That's when we started Green Streets.
You know, recycling is probably the furthest thing from somebody who is substance abuse or a broken home. You know, things that me and Tyrone had to contend with. I'm pretty sure everybody in Green Streets had to deal with at some point. Like I said, this is just a way for us to start. And you know, we can start by giving people jobs where they work. You know, that's where it's starting at.
And cleaning up where you live at.
Whatever 2 units you got, just put them down right in there. We got to finish making a spreadsheet for this property, and I'll help you tweak it along the way. But
at 32, Dave Denson was a little older than the rest of us, and definitely more level-headed. So when we were getting started, we put him in charge of operations.
We were so small, we had to get each site up and running one by one. I remember in the beginning, before we got our actual work coveralls, we had these white suits, and folks would, you know, they call us Ghostbusters and call us astronauts and just make fun of us. We started here at Hayes, myself and Tyrone, Then Hayes was pretty much established, and then we would move on to another property, and Plaza was next, until we got over to Burnham. And then voila, Green Streets was here on the map, and all three properties were functioning all at the same time.
Oh, it motivates me to get up every morning, come knock the trash out. And just giving back to the community, keeping this place clean, going green, going green. This chicken still looks good.
Teddy Alamo went to high school with Dave Denson, and when he got out of prison, he needed a job. So Dave brought him on.
Being a teenager, turning to a man, I made certain choices that wasn't the right choices, which led me into going to jail, incarceration, fast money. Being here now, from being locked up, not with no job, worried where I'm gonna get some money from, to me being employed now, staying out of trouble, getting off probation, having a clean record, taking care of my kids, just being a good role model for people, man. It's a good feeling.
Come, Riley. Hope you feel better. Oh, how sweet. Only because I care. Can't get me because I care. Someone I brought on was James Riley. James and I go back a ways to when we met in county jail.
Yeah, you taught me how to play pinochle.
Yo.
Well, you gave me the cheat sheet that taught me how to play pinochle.
Cheat sheet. Shit, that's how somebody taught me. They just wrote it out for me and said, here, and learn this.
And since then, some people are put off by the idea of working with trash. Not James. His father and his grandfather worked on garbage trucks.
Like, I remember one year, I was a garbage man for Halloween. Had the little, made the garbage can out of tin foil. I had that, but it was like probably about 3 feet tall or something.
Yeah.
Had that full of candy that year. I think that was the best year I ever had.
So, I don't mean to have a mushy moment here, but in a way, Green Streets is kind of like having you live out your childhood dreams. Am I? Green Street sorts through the trash at public housing sites, separating what's recyclable and compostable from what's not. Like Dave Denson said, it wasn't the first thing on our mind when we started looking for a business opportunity. The idea came from the property manager at the time, David Morrow.
They came up to me in the Plaza East parking lot and basically just said, we want to work. It's really that simple. But that led to just the wheels turning about how I could work with these guys because, you know, it's clear that they really meant it. The main challenges at our properties were the fact that we were mandated to recycle and compost, and we were not able to. People would either not throw the trash in any bin because they weren't sure what to do, and no one ever sorted anything. And it just became a mess. The trash rooms were a problem. We couldn't meet the city standards, so we were concerned about fines. My thought to them was, well, you know, we can't give you a job, but if you really want to do this, we need that trash to be recycled and composted. I don't know how to do it. We haven't been successful at it, but if you can figure it out, we'll support you in creating a business. I mean, I think when the realization clicked that there's something there, that they had an opportunity, at that point, there was no holding them back.
Well, before Green Street, I saw all the garbage in there piled up, right? You know, and there's stink coming out of there. And I live over there at 1220 Eddy Street. And I was saying, this ain't right.
The garbage would be full to the tip top, running over. Nobody even recycled or nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes the garbage men couldn't take all the trash, so they knocked it on the ground. And it sat there for days.
You've seen the change?
I have seen a change. The garbage can smell like pine saw, not pee, and I see more recycle bins than we ever seen before over here.
Right away, it was obvious we were going to need more help. So once the first payments start rolling in from property management, we began recruiting more workers.
We hire people with barriers to employment. I myself have been incarcerated many times. Some of my employees have been down that road themselves. What we're doing is trying to offer people like us an opportunity to do something different. What we're looking for, people ready to work
and ready to be professional about their work. That's showing up on time, that's showing commitment, that's having a good work ethic, nothing that any other job wouldn't ask for.
I just used to harass them all the time, like, can I get a job, can I get a job, can I get a job? And then I was sitting on my grandmother's couch and it came through the mailbox, a flyer saying go apply.
Watts grew up in OC. That means the Out of Control Projects, the local nickname for Plaza, before they tore it down and rebuilt it.
Back then, I got caught up in the streets. And I started selling drugs. I was going to the Tenderloin, spending like 2 days down there, no sleep. Like, I really fell off. And that's why I really appreciate Green Streets, because they helped me get back on.
I mean, jobs is hard right now. They don't come around. I mean, you got people with college degrees working at McDonald's. That's how hard it is right now.
Darius is from OC too. A lot of people find him intimidating at first.
Cause I got a deep voice, like my tone is loud, so I speak with a lot of emotion. I just have to tone it down, or I have to let a person know like I'm not being angry or nothing. This is just how I regularly speak. This job really means everything to me because it's the means of my support with my family, my daughter. Kind of got a lot of complicated situations. So this is really like a blessing.
We're throwing away real good tools.
And last but not least, there's Marcus, one of our youngest and best workers.
My mom's disabled, so I have to like really work for two people. I have to go to the store for her, come in, get stuff for her, so it's kind of like a double job on my behalf. Like, but I know the Lord is gonna bless me one day, so I just go along with it. And that's Mom's. I gotta take care of her for life.
You're just trying to make me.
Just 6 months after starting from nothing, Green Streets was employing 16 workers, all of them residents of public housing. And we were starting to think about expanding outside of San Francisco to public housing projects in Oakland and Richmond.
All this is good for us. The ball is rolling now. Like, stuff is happening. Everybody's engaged, and I like it. I'm eager to see what these products do. Eager to stay focused for this busy schedule we got. February is a busy month for us. It's a nice, good month. And it's Black History Month.
Yes, it is.
So, you know what that means? Niggas gotta work. Shit to do. But
I got one more thing for the agenda. I brought Simple Green as well as vinegar and lemon juice. So we could try them out at the sites, and we're just gonna see which works.
Like, I don't know if it's strong. Like,
you use the
we can't use pine salt and bleach, so we're gonna have to find an alternative either way it go, because we are Green Street.
From the beginning, we all took the business part seriously. People gotta get paid. But the funny thing is, we start taking the environmental aspect of our work seriously too.
If you ask any recycling company across the United States what their biggest challenge is, it's in the multifamily buildings. Because, you know, if you think about it, if you got a 40, 50, 60 unit building, all it takes is one or two people putting the stuff in the wrong bin, and it messes it up for everybody, right? So you got 50 people doing it right and 2 or 3 doing it wrong, and now your blue bin's contaminated. Maybe they threw food or Coca-Cola or grease, cooking grease in that blue bin, and now all that paper's ruined, all that stuff, and all that hard work from the other folks.
But you're right, and we got 185 units over at Hayes.
See, that's amazing.
This is, probably have food on it, so I'll put it in the compost. This is trash. You see the cardboard, you see the oil stains, compostable.
Recycling isn't brand new, it's been around a long time. Composting's a little newer, especially food waste composting. We turn that food, we compost it, and we make it into a great supplement for the soil. Instead, if you take that same organic matter and you throw it in a landfill, it decomposes into methane gas. And that methane gas can escape into the atmosphere, and it's a 20-time more potent greenhouse gas than even, say, carbon dioxide that comes off of car emissions.
I think that's dope to know. That's very interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's so.
You know, you see the trash in a whole different way. Like when I'm at home and I'm getting ready to throw something away, it's like I think twice before I let it drop. It's a big part of my life now, and you know, all because of this business. It wasn't like that a year ago. Attached to that is our outreach piece, where we educate the residents about what we're doing and get people to care about what they're throwing away and what they're consuming, and just how it affects everything else.
What about the napkins? Recycle them. How do you use napkins?
I tell them my name is Darius, I'm working with your community, and I'm here to offer you this kitchen pill. All I want you to do is put your food scraps in here, and I let them know this is the beginning process of our business right here, and we're trying to get people to help us out.
Once we get the residents involved, there's no telling about the changes we can make.
So just kind of looking over for 2012, from May when the contract began, the contract generated $222,000.
As we grew, our operations got more complicated, and we started needing help.
I just basically went through my Rolodex, old-fashioned term, and just started making calls. And people that have experience in marketing and sales and operations and leadership, and just connected them with the Green Streets team.
You said it'll save us money as a company, but there's no guarantee that we'll even be a company come next year. So the people who are trying to put money in their pocket, they got to still keep feeding their families. So I'm going to cut it down and take less money for something that might not be here next year?
People constantly kept telling them to cut back on hours, reduce manpower, because you've got a bottom line, you've got to show a profit. And that was a struggle.
If I want a steady check every week and just that's it, then it's time to get a job. But if I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, that's what entrepreneurs do, is you take a risk to say, okay, I'm gonna put forth the effort today to hope that I make it big later. So the Facebooks, the Apples, the Googles, whatever it is, they weren't getting paid probably in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
But the people that sit at this table, the people that take on these jobs at Green Streets, where we come from, we're already behind. So the job aspect of it outweighs the entrepreneurial aspect of it. This paycheck that some of us pick up on Thursday is all we got coming. And if it changed, or if it happened to not come, people's lives are gonna change drastically.
Thank you. You couldn't say
Like, some of us was broke as fuck before this. I'm talking about bad. Like, you don't wanna go back to that. We running from that every day of our life.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be a constant battle to try to weigh this out, and I'm glad that you guys are actually here laying this stuff out for us, right? But the mold, understand the mold of the people.
Nobody wants to be stuck in the projects all their life. Man, I want my kids to wake up in like a big house that I paid for, and like I want to be able to give them like they 16th birthday present, like give them a car or something like that for their 16th birthday. I don't want to stay here my whole life.
But definitely not trapped, because I'm going to get out of here. Sooner or later, whether it's through Green Streets or by myself, I'm going to get out of here for sure. That's a for sure thing.
I am trying to get out, but at the same time, I don't just want to leave. I do want to give back to my community, because my community has gave me a lot, and it's made me the person I am today. Very strong.
Yeah.
Yes, in y'all last week meeting.
This business wasn't a guarantee, you know. It was kind of like, we think it will work, to we hope it'll work, and then it's like, it's working. You know, everybody should be proud. You know, we've come a long way, and we got a long way to go, but you know, we in it together. We in it together.
Can we plug Terrell over here at Hayes?
That might help him out.
At 9 o'clock start time will work for him. JoJo, for him and Akeelia both, they got child care situations that they've been dealing with that's been hectic on both of them schedules too. Because JoJo stuck with the kids in the house and then Akeelia, babysitter, has been flaky on her. Hayes for the next month looks like Teddy, Terrell, and a swap between you two bi-weekly. With the other 4 days at Burnham, we can give 2 to Akeelia, we can give 2 to JoJo. But JoJo's like he's scared to go to the Burnham.
Yeah, have you heard when he brought that up? He was.
How much? There's 5-6 people that can't go to Burnham, and this hang up at Plaza is causing it too much. Like it's hard to figure out. We've been stuck on this last one for 30 minutes.
It's a lot of layers to this city. San Francisco is known for being diverse, of course, but there's a lot more to it than that. All the projects, all the turfs, you know, like not a lot of the turfs get along here.
What are the biggest problems facing the properties you manage in Northern California?
Now?
Violence, gangs, drugs.
You know, I mean, you know as well as I do, a lot of the individuals around our properties don't like to refer themselves as gangs. You know, I still think, you know, it's cliques, it's turfs, it's just local neighborhood stuff.
Yeah.
From the outside, it's gangs.
Yeah, gangs got a whole different structure than
yeah.
OC has Shannon, DeMario, Darius, and Justin. Their cutoff street would actually be Turk right here. And the reason being is it's been so much feuding and so much stuff going on that they're already a hot target. You wouldn't want to be caught in another hot area. You know what I mean? Like that just increases the chances of something happening to you. So these guys are actually pretty much blocked in right here. And as they travel, they got to be mindful of conflict. My shit is really like this. And I'm blocked in too.
It's always opportunities on different sites for me to go work like Hayes and Burnham, but I can't go there. And it's not even like because I'm a gang member or nothing. It's just because of the housing complexes, you know, where I've been raised all my life, where my family been raised all their life. People lost a lot of loved ones in this. People lost their dad to this gang stuff, moms, sisters, brothers. People done being hurt bad. So I kind of can understand where they coming from, not wanting letting the anger go. But it's like it's just only going to be like, you know, a revolving door of people just getting killed.
Ever since I've been about 14, I've been experiencing gang violence. I can't come out the house without looking left to right first. Being aware of my surroundings, especially at nighttime. It just comes from living in a neighborhood where you know that there are territory issues, turf wars, any funny figures is like, you know, it's a problem. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Being shot, the experience itself wasn't really that bad, but the aftermath right now, my nerves, the way my mind thinks, sorry to say, before I got shot, the shootings, it was becoming numb, kind of normal. Like, oh, they just came through shooting, you know, go smoke a blunt, go sit down, have a drink or something. Like, it wasn't really nothing too much. But now, I'm just so scary, a nervous wreck. It's like not even real.
You can never forget that pain though when they take like a close friend or like a cousin and stuff, because I always think about my cousin to this day. That was like 6 years ago. We was 15 years old. Like I always think about it to this day. So I kind of like know the hurt and the pain they feel and why they don't want to let it go and why they want to continue to do the things they do. If I wasn't working with Green Streets, I'd probably be doing the same thing. I don't know.
One of the greatest risks of the Green Streets is really connected to your backgrounds.
Yeah.
It's something we can't run away from, you know. You know, it was, I still laugh at it, although I don't know it was funny at that retreat. when all the other really professional social enterprises are talking about here's our challenges, our challenge is fiscal management, and our challenge is like how we deploy our workforce and our marketing plan and blah blah blah. And one of the Green Street's challenges is what is it we all get high?
Marijuana.
Like marijuana was one, and so the fact that everyone has criminal backgrounds, there's substance abuse issues, there are all these mental health things going on, behind all that. It's it's a really risky group to employ.
Once you get to a certain point, like I said before, like in my age group, when you get a job, you figure everything is going to be okay. Like, I got the job, I don't have to be on the streets no more. But then you get met with so many other problems, and it's a lot of stuff that you never really get to deal with. You just figure money fixes it. I know I've been poor, so as long as I got a check coming in, then I'll be okay.
On October 14, 2013, I lost another person. My cousin Marty, one of my best friends. He was at Hayes hanging out on the corner when someone opened fire. My first impulse was to get revenge.
I never acknowledged enough how much, like, I love this company, like, I love working with you guys, like, and that somebody could, like, easily come out and, like, take one of my brothers away, like, quick as fuck, like, quick. I mean, everybody been trying to stay strong, but it just gets to you, like, I haven't got too much sleep this week. It just, now like sleep.
I truly believe at the end of the day that this company can be something that changed each and every one of our lives. You feel me? That's the reason why I put so much into it. That's the reason why I've given so much passion, and I tap into y'all, and I make sure that y'all feel that energy too. It's hella pivotal right now that I stay focused on what's gonna lead me to a better life, and that's this shit. And I built a certain bond with all y'all, so I feel comfortable in saying that from this day moving forward, if y'all not serious, y'all gonna get left behind. It ain't no time to wait. That could have been any one of us that night, bruh. James Riley stayed right there. Me, Marcus, Taylor, we all around here every day. We know what it is. And each and every one of y'all know what it is. We wake up every day. You don't know when it's gonna be your day. You gotta do something right now. You gotta help change this shit right now, and you gotta understand what your power is. This is power sitting here at this table. This not no bullshit. Don't bullshit the job. Come to work and be professional. Handle your motherfucking business. If you're a businessman, be a businessman. Business don't stop at 1 in the afternoon. Business don't stop because the last trash bin is clean. It's emails, it's other sources of income we could be chasing, it's other stuff that we need to tap into. It's time to focus up and pay attention to that. We know what's there, we know these weeks is shitty, James. Shannon, we need you. We need you to be Shannon. Here. You hear me? The new guys, what we want y'all to see is this setting, this business family setting, because this is what's gonna take us to the next level. We have a wonderful opportunity here, y'all, and let's not let it slip away. Let's not let it slip away. Business went on. By 2014, we were up and running in our 2 expansion sites in Oakland and Richmond. Dave Denson left Green Streets for a full-time job with property management, complete with benefits and a 401k plan.
Put Tyrone and them in the business meetings. It wasn't for
Watts stepped up to become site supervisor.
We're not trying to put too much on your plate that you can't handle.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Make sure you got some time in your life for yourself as well.
Darius, unfortunately, was terminated after getting into an altercation in the Plaza parking lot. I just wanted to say thank you for giving us your time to do this interview, because I didn't know. We were sitting there, I was going, I'm not finna call him, like, I don't know. And then I started to call you, then I text you, like, because I was like, I don't know how he gonna respond.
And that's crazy, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you, like, considering the situation and what I'm trying to do now after the fact, like, I wasn't gonna do it, but at the same time, I had to humble myself up because I really do want my job back. I could sit humble on here to say that now. And this probably don't even help me, but y'all ain't got nothing to do with that. I did have a good experience working with y'all, at least. Y'all didn't do nothing to me. That's how y'all didn't do anything to me, so, you know.
Darius is gonna be okay. He's applying for other jobs, but he still has to deal with his barriers. What do you see for your future?
Right now, I'm just trying to get on with another job and just collect this money however I can. Like, for my future, I gotta remain doing good for my daughter. I always gotta remember we one step away. I just got shot out here the other day. Yeah. I mean, we all gotta remember we always one step away from losing our freedom or our life, so it's all on me what decision I'm gonna make. I ain't fit to go all out and go stupid because I lost my job. I'm finna get back on the right track and do what I gotta do and just keep it moving.
Back in the day, man, I remember when I was a youngster, all that shit went in one can.
Yeah.
They ain't separated for that. You know, now y'all making me do their job, and then you'll raise the price of recycling and everything and picking up the trash. Yeah. But now I'm doing their work.
Now, but, so what you doing?
I know, for the environment, I know. That's the way they use, come on. You know, we black folks, we don't give a damn about no damn environment. So white folks messed it up anyway, because we ain't never went to space, did we? Mm-hmm. And they got garbage in space for them. How the hell, messed their space up, right?
So hear me out.
Right.
We actually some black folks that do care about the environment.
Okay, well.
And the reason why we do is because look at all these black people with these jobs standing around you.
Well, that's true, too.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We create these jobs for people in this lane of work.
Well, since you said it like that, I care about it too.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you, guys.
You're very welcome.
Angel.
I didn't get your name.
Henrietta.
Henrietta, I'm Tyrone.
Tyrone, nice.
Nice meeting you too.
When you see Pelosi, yeah, you want to try to say hi to her. Yeah. She's one of the highest ranking politicians in the entire country.
Carter going in, but we couldn't stop her.
Yeah, and she's in and out quick.
Oh, we're going to pass her the shovel, though. One of us going to probably at least be around them when they pass the shovel.
For sure. Everyone should have one in your back pocket just so you can get to her.
No, you ain't getting Pelosi.
Yeah, let's assign one of you two to
wherever it is.
Who else is on the list? Mayor Lee.
Yeah, because she's not going to take it right now. What's she going to do with a flyer right now when she's doing the groundbreaking, bro?
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Lee.
Shannon from Green Street.
Oh, hey, Shannon, how are you?
How you doing? Tyrone from Green Street.
Tyrone, good to see you.
Good to see
Thanks
you.
for being out here.
James.
James, did you guys clean up this place?
Yeah, we're going to clean it up before and after. Nah. Oh, sure.
Can we get your picture?
Oh, sure. Thank you for your time. Can we get Pelosi? Can we get Pelosi too? Tyrone Mullins of Green Street.
You told me.
Oh, okay. Thank you for your time. Keep up the good work. Come on, let's go. Okay, good to see you.
So things are still going well, huh?
Pretty well. Just making some advancement, doing some expansion. Moved out of San Francisco, got a property in Richmond and now in Oakland. So we're just trying to make some waves.
You got about $410,000 in contracts.
That is nice. That is nice.
There's the Silicon Valley Foundation that was started by Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg?
The guy who started Facebook.
Okay.
And they give a lot.
Is
but
that right?
They're not giving to us. We got to go in there as a group. So they will start
That's
funding.
why we can
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I got Terry's card, and I'll take yours as well. And we just stay in touch with each other and make this thing happen.
Oh, we're gonna.
Tyrone.
Hi, Ron. Nice to meet you. Hi. James, Rob.
Hi, I'm Shannon.
Hi, Shannon, Rob.
I'm just in awe of being able to talk to a police officer and not being no trouble.
Hey, man.
It's a funny feeling. Like it's not like I'm nervous or nothing like that, right? But it's different being on a different side, right?
It's a platform, it's a platform, and it's not just a platform to dig in trash. It was a platform to give people an opportunity to kind of see how they measured up.
We understand, where they coming from because we've been there. Then also helping them understand the road to change.
Everybody has had a lot of victories. I know some people who had a cycle of going to jail, coming out, going to jail, coming out, have not went back to jail since working for Green Streets.
All right, guys.
All right. Hey, Tyrone. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You guys keep up the good work, too. Stay safe.
Thanks.
You hear about a lot of people who hate their jobs and, roll over, hit the snooze button a few times. I never did that. With Green Streets, I used to bounce up because I knew every day was a new adventure. Every day I could help somebody through something. Every day I would get help. I'm good anywhere with the Green Streets folks because of that. So, I missed those cats, those women and men. I'm talking about strategizing, right? New lines of business. I'd come back if they'd have me for that.
All right, everybody. Let's give a hand for Green Streets right there. Green Streets. Brother Tyrone, are you with us? Oh, there you go. There you go. I wasn't sure if you was taking a nap, man.
Nah, man. It's every time I watch it, I got a couple parts where it just get emotional for me. So I'll be,
Yeah. I feel you, man. And I just, when I was saying this is a real film with real people. And when I say, sometimes people like to say just about street stuff, right? But it's beyond that for me. It's real for me because of the range of human emotion that exists inside the piece, right? So I was just like, there's grief and there's sadness, right? But then there's admiration, there's trust, there's acceptance, there's joy in there, there's key interest and anticipation, there's anger and rage and disgust. It's like it's everything that we as human beings feel. Some of us throughout a whole day can feel out those, but sometimes it takes some of us a whole lifetime to experience those emotions. And it's the clarity and the humility in which the people on the dock and you display that, right? And that's that realness that I'm talking about. And I was just like, Sister Doctari earlier was talking about how the ancestors were present in the work and everything that we do, and I just want to shout you out, man. Just like I see that, it was like, man, it's like you a leader, man. You're a chief. you a king, right? In any other place, in any other time, you know, that's who you would be. And even if you wasn't the chief or the king, they have I can't remember the name right now. When I was living in South Africa, there's like every village has a representative, and you got to go to that representative even before you can get to the 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 highest ranking people. And I'm just like, at the minimum, you know, that's who you would be, because I just see how you hold yourself, man. The work that you put in for yourself. I know the work that you put in behind the scenes for your family. That's not seen in the piece. So I just want to shout you out, man, for your tireless work, and seeing how you came on to the pop-up village what we were doing in West Oakland, and just stepped up in a way that just like, I'm gonna just let my work speak for itself. And when I saw that film, I just know, for y'all who are inspired by that film, that's just a small amount of the power that this brother and Green Streets and all the people associated come with. So I just want to give thanks to you for that, my man.
Appreciate that, bro. I truly do, Chuck. I hope the message was able to get across from the film to show just one, we can create our own. We've been creating out of necessity for a long time as a people, and what we did with Green Streets is shown that we can create a business from the ground up. Actually, this year make 10 years that we've been in business. So for me to go from being a two-strike felon, trigger locked, in and out of San Quentin and stuff like that, to being able to have 10 years of business experience, you know, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel proud. That type of legacy that I could leave behind for my kids. And then some of my staff members, you know, they have a thing called transitional age youth. So that's like the age from 18 to 24. In San Francisco, I don't know if it's like that in the town, but in San Francisco, they don't offer any services for you once you turn like 27 years of age.
Mm.
A lot of my people are like that because they just coming back from incarceration and things of that nature. So we try to hire people with those specific barriers to employment, meet them where they're at, get them the support needed, personal and professional development. And then I know that Green Streets is my dream, my passion, as far as, you know, being one of the creators. So what I try to do is enlighten people to find their passion while they're getting the opportunity to, you know, be around me day in and day out. I'll teach you whatever I know business wise. I'll, you know, free of charge. You know, it's a saying that says the game is to be sold, not told. And our people run with that sometimes. And sometimes is, you know, it's good to teach for free, because you plant different seeds that can blossom in different ways that affect something that a dollar amount could never touch. You feel me? One of the things that I take pride in the work that we did out at the pop up is being able to cross these neighborhoods. Man, we had a contract over in Acorn. We had a contract out in Richmond Village, where, you know, I've been on the prison yards. I've been in custody. I've been 13 years old, starting to go to custody out there in Oakland at 150th, 22 Fairmont Drive.
Yep.
I've been to Camp Sweeney. You feel me? I know what it's like, and I know that when I look at you, when I look at other brothers that look like me, it took me a long time to get to this place, but you're not my enemy. My controlling case was a shooting in my neighborhood where I could almost took somebody's life over something that probably could have been worked out through dialogue. You know what I mean? And I'm fortunate enough to sit here today to be able to just be a living, breathing example, man. That's all I want to do. Fight for livable wages, because people will give us the opportunities, but they try to lowball us a lot, try to devalue us. They look at us, they look at the trash and don't look at the ability that we've not only recycled waste, but we've recycled ourselves. And then they don't understand the impact that we make beyond the trash rooms, and being able to serve as like a just like something that people in my neighborhood could look to and be like, oh, yep, I remember when he was out here like that, and he was able to turn it around and give somebody some hope for just a better tomorrow. We all know what the problems is, so how do we find the solutions? And I think Green Streets has been a part of the solution, like try to be a part of the solution as often as we can be.
Yo, give thanks for that, man. And that leads me to the next question. Like you said, people sometimes try to lowball you on the contracts. What is it like being a black entrepreneur in San Francisco Bay Area right now?
Oh man, Shock. And this is a really sensitive, emotional topic for me because this is the thing that I battle with at night when I'm up by myself when it's 2, 3 in the morning and I'm up and I'm the fire is there, the passion is there, and the desire, but I'm up against an animal that systematic uh, oppression, racism, and stuff that exists in the structure of things. There's a reason why there's not a lot of black business owners and things of that nature within our city. Um, we're the only company like ours that offer the service that we do within the city. And I watch time and time again, if I walk into an office, I do what's called a waste stream audit of people trash bills, and people will pay Recology, whatever. They don't even question what they have to pay the trash company. But when I put a bid in or, proposal or quote or what have you, um, I've had people look at me and literally say like, you can't be serious. And I know that I was, giving it to them on a deal, or I was coming in lower just so we could get the opportunity. You know what I mean? I'm always looking to show and prove so that I don't need a handout. I don't want to be the affirmative action company on your site. You know what I mean? I want to be able to get the work because we're qualified for the work. And then I want to be able to execute and deliver on the contract so that, word of mouth and the way that we handled ourselves on site or said contract is what precedes me when I pursue the next opportunity. You know what I mean? We had to switch over. Like I said, we're 10 years in. A couple years back, we had to switch over from being a nonprofit to going for profit, just because in the pursuit of funding for a nonprofit, it's kind of at times kind of like a popularity contest. It gets real cliquish. The funding goes to the same people over and over. If you happen to interrupt that in some type of way, you might be looked at a certain type of way. A lot of times I feel like they want me to play a certain game. I've had people tell me, take the hat off or cover up the tattoos or make sure when you show up you don't have your work attire on. You know what I mean? Things of that nature, and try to mask it under professional development. But I've seen other people get those same opportunities or not have to dress up a certain way to receive the same opportunities because they're just basing it around can their company do the work or not. You know what I mean? And they have these relationships, and it's some of the gatekeeping on our side where we want to manage who gets what funding and what happens, and then some of the good old boy stuff that's been going on for a long time where they try to keep the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. I know that the population I represent is like the have-nots, feel me? So when we walk in the room, people already, giving us a side eye. You'd be surprised some of the stuff people say when we show up some places before they recognize that we're Green Streets or that I'm Tyrone Mullins or something like that. And I oftentimes feel so like I'm like it's a David and Goliath kind of thing to fight this monster within a city that says, we have this initiative and we're set out to achieve this by this certain by San Francisco has a zero waste initiative that started at 2020 and now it's 2030, saying that everything would be in its proper receptacle. San Francisco leads the world in waste diversion. We're at 80%, with the other 20% being shown that low income and multifamily complexes and commercial buildings is where the most trash is generated. Well, I'm going back to the city and pushing back going, well, I have a skill set and I have 10 years experience and I can show people how to do this work and we can take care of that last 20% for you so the city can reach its deliverable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody I sit down with says that makes complete sense, but we're still, waiting, basically, so to speak. We're still fighting every day for sustainability. I will say that our city mayor, London Breed, has done a good job of always making sure that we're not left out of budgeting opportunities, funding opportunities. They have us at the table right now with this discussion that's going on around the funding the police department and what does public safety look like. Working with other local organizations to try to come up with something where we can take care of our own. You know what I mean? You guys over there in the town, y'all know what it is, y'all birthplace of the Black Panthers and what it looked like to, put your people together and do something, organize, educate, and do something to eradicate an issue within our neighborhoods. You know what I mean? So why can't we, the blueprint is already there. You know what I mean? It's just finding the people who have the same passion and desires and the level of commitment to seeing this thing through. Because this fight for true liberation, it's one of those things that and I mean this with every fiber in my body. It's not gonna come in my lifetime. I sacrificed my life so that my kids can have liberation, and I mean it. You feel me?
I feel you.
That's where I stand on. You feel me?
I feel
Create
you.
these opportunities so not only my family but other families like mine dudes don't have to break into cars and try to bip cars or steal laptops or iPhones for a couple of $100. Girls don't have to go into malls and steal Adidas sweatsuits and sell them for half off to try to be able to put food on the table. You get what I'm saying? Like, nah, we're much more stronger than that. We should be more
That's
solicited.
right.
And as long as we keep extending our hands back, like the project we working on in the neighborhood, the bird that lead the project is the Sankofa bird. It's representation of the whole project. And even Sister B, our queen that we work with at the pop-up, she even got one tattooed on her. And I just see that as a like manifest destiny. The bird, I believe, is native to Ghana.
Yep.
And it means to reach and give back. And my mom, God rest her soul, that's one of the things she always taught me is one, remain humble. The same people you meet going up is the same people you meet going down. And if each one teach one, we can reach one. And that's what I live on, bro.
Yo, give thanks. As y'all can see, this brother is dynamic and keeps it real, spits it real, and is at that level where we can talk about our spirituality and the ancients and our ancestors, right? We can talk about our neighborhoods and what's going on in the black community. We can talk about politics. That's the realness that I'm talking about. And that's the type of level that our people need to be on to advance. This is what Black August is about. This is what the Black Arts Movement is about, right? This is what the uprisings that are about that's been going on all around the world, fighting for Black life and Black voice, and for us not to be thinking that we are less than anybody else. You know, some of the stories you're telling me, it makes me think about how back in the day, these business owners had to go find a white person, right, to go make a business deal with. And they'd be like, oh, this is my secretary, or this is my janitor, or this is my handyman. They walk into the building, they thinking the white guy's going to buy the building, but the black guy's really the boss.
Yeah. And
Right?
it's still the same way, Shaq. I've had the people, I've had a variety of people who've come in and mentored me and helped me kind of build my village of support for me to kind of like stabilize my own life after I've been through my trials and tribulations. And unfortunately, one of the things that I noticed is the white counterparts that I walked into the room with, people are all of a sudden like they can like my name can be uplifted, what we about can be uplifted, and now it's all legit and it's respectable. You know what I mean? And I've walked into some rooms by myself, and people are they don't even understand why we there. You know what I mean? And it's that stigma. I forgot the term. Implicit bias.
Implicit bias, yes.
Implicit bias. Like people are already kind of like got their mind made up when they see us without really sitting down, breaking bread, or having that dialogue. I feel one of the gifts that the higher power has given me is the ability to be grounded. So come from a certain place, have the passion and the willingness to explore and go into different settings, remain genuine and not sacrifice my integrity, but also challenge not only myself but my circle, my people, to keep pushing ourselves to be better than we was the day before. It ain't about dressing it up and making it look a certain way. I'm not perfect by any means. I strive every day to be a better father, a better leader. Sometimes I might come down on somebody on the site, one of the workers or something, and I got to go back and be like, man, I went too hard. You feel me? I've still got some growing I have to do, and I will always remain a student of life. You feel me? Because I don't feel like you'll ever get to a space where you kind of like know it all, but just be genuine, man. Come from a genuine space and understand that humility and humanity goes hand in hand, bro.
For sure it do. For sure it do. So we got a question from Naru. He says, Tyrone, I want to know if you have any thoughts of expanding to your own recycling and composting plan in the future.
That's a good question. Given that I've been able to, attain a lot of knowledge in this industry where I feel like there's nobody that looks like us, I take pride in being able to keep growing and expanding and moving in opportunities. But also with that is an educational process. And through that educational process, it's some big dog stuff going on in the trash industry. It's not just like a pick up and go. You know what I mean? Recology has the peninsula monopolized. Waste diversion has allowed us an entry point. And through that entry point, I'll keep exploring until they stop me, until they put up some resistance. But what I've seen is they'll let us in this lane. They'll let us explore the low income housing sector as much as we want to. They'll let us walk through the TLs. They'll give us all that when it comes to being able to establish yourself in a way where we can generate contracts with a multiple cities and things of that nature. I haven't had those discussions or been privy to those opportunities yet, but I'm like I said, I'll continue to swim, hustle, grind, push, and try to find any way that we can continue to open this up, because what I believe is this is a whole lane that we haven't explored. Much like when I was going to trade school before I got into this, a mentor, a teacher had told me about different occupations and the money they earned in those occupations. And I knew that a lot of people just wasn't knowledgeable about those things, or we probably have more of us doing it. Professions like glaciers, like the sprinkle filter people, all these different occupations where a lot of people that like us won't even partake in those jobs, but these are really opportunities that can, one, allow you to sustain financially, and then allow you to save money to put towards another passion or another business opportunity where you can then embark on your own business journey. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the fight is there, and I'll keep doing what I need to do educationally to kind of soak up game, so that who knows, in 10 years we could look up and say that Green Streets has manifested, contracts in the Bay Area on a much larger scale.
That's right. That's right, man. Well, let me ask you. Do y'all have a social media profile, website that they can find you?
Oh yeah, most definitely. We have a website. Shout out to Sabrina from DJDS for helping us revamp that. It's www.ourgreenstreets.com. Check us out. Oh, I might have it wrong. It's .org. www.ourgreenstreets.org. I'll put it in the chat also, so people can check that out. And then I'll leave my my email in the chat, so that if anybody wants to reach out, dialogue, and kind of put our heads together to see what we can come up with, I'm more than willing to do that. I'm open to that. You know what I mean? I don't care what city it is. We'll hit the freeway and pull up wherever and sit down and break bread with you, as long as we're trying to, do something for the betterment of our people.
Yo, bruh, I just want to give thanks for you taking your time, your energy, your insight and your wisdom, dropping these jewels for us, giving us opportunity to show your film, your story, your friend's story, your co-worker story, your neighborhood story. And I'm just glad we were in sync and been able to make this happen. This is when we first met. I was like, this is a cool brother right here. Never did I know they was making a film about you that we would be able to show and share to the world. So let's keep this thing building, man. Anytime you need anything, give me a buzz. I got you, man.
I appreciate that on everything. And like I said earlier today, Shaka, I appreciate you for creating a platform for us to be able to do something like this. You got a whole network of people that I may have not even never been exposed to. And it could be one, it could be two people that we create dialogue, and it could be something that make a difference in one of these neighborhoods. So thank you for the work that you do also, and being able to, give us an opportunity to be able to put a spotlight on something like Green Streets for a moment. You feel me? We need it.
Give thanks, bro.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
everybody, Tyrone Mullins from Green Streets. Check them out at ourgreenstreets.org. And this ends our second segment of the BAMFest Film Festival. All right, look out for us next week, Tuesday at 7 p.m. We're going to have a whole host of other films to show to y'all. Earlier that day, I'll be teaching yoga at 10 a.m. in the morning. We'll be having that on Zoom and streaming that on Facebook also. So let's keep this thing building. We're right in the middle of Black August. There's lots of other activities and things going on for BAMFest. So make sure you visit the BAMFest Facebook page, the website, and we keep this thing building. All right, everybody. Uhuru, freedom. All right.
Gonna end it?
Uh-huh.